can do to make your healthcare cheaper, safer, and more reliable. I'm not going to address those three things because of time, but I'm going to show you just some of the basic attributes of essential oils so that then you'll kind of know how they fit into. When you see them or have encountered essential oils in your life, in the health food store, or from someone else that you know, then you'll know, hey, they're cheaper, safer, and more reliable, in many cases, than traditional healthcare, which I call pharmaceutical drugs. Okay? So, what is an essential oil? Cut downs. They're an extract from plants. Now, plants being stationary, they have to protect themselves from the climate, from their environment, and from predators, where humans and mammals, we just move. So plants have prepared these defensive systems and adaptations to their climates over the years. Somewhat through evolution and somewhat through creation. They were created that way in my belief system. So if we take those chemical components that the plant makes, extract them in pure ways, and use them ourselves, then they can be effective for our own health benefits. Just so that you can experience this, I brought some aids with me. I have wild orange and peppermint. Now, wild orange comes from wild orange trees in the Dominican Republic. Peppermint comes from plants in Washington State. This is what I'd like you to do. If you are extremely sensitive to smells, then just pass it. But I've never had anybody have any kind of reaction to these. Just take one drop. I'll keep the cap. It's going to be hard to get one drop out of wild orange. You might get 2 or 3. That's okay. Put one drop on your hand. Just rub it together. Take a little smell, and then take one of the peppermint. Now, the peppermint's easier to get one. Get one drop. Rub those together. And then just cup them right over your nose. And inhale deeply. And pay attention to what your body does. These are chemicals that a plant makes. They're extremely effective, very absorbable. I call them lipophilic, which is not bibliophilic. It means they're lipid-loving. And since your body, your cell membranes are made out of lipids, they absorb into your body extremely quickly. So pay attention to how you feel. I hope one of you has a headache, because this is extremely effective for headaches. And I've lost my clicker. There's some facts up there. That picture is actually the magnified leaf of a peppermint plant. And those little tiny green sacs are the oil sacs. Compared to natural pharmaceuticals, or to man-made synthetic pharmaceuticals, oils are much cheaper per dose, with much fewer negative side effects and more positive side benefits than your typical pharmaceutical drugs. Now, this is a representation of a human cell with a lipid layer on the outside. Now, that little wavy pattern that you see right there, that's representation of the oils coming into the cells. One of the big problems with pharmaceutical drugs is they don't have a way to get the drugs into your cells very effectively, or into your blood-brain barrier. Your brain and spinal column are kind of the NORAD of your body. Lots and lots of layers of security. And they can't get drugs there to deal with Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, other neurological disorders. But essential oils can pass that barrier. They can come right in. So we can treat and we can deal with symptoms on those illnesses and conditions very effectively with essential oils in partnership with Western medicine, because they do go right in. Now, viruses also go inside your cell, and that's how they replicate themselves, using the cell's organelles. So the essential oils can be effective on many forms of viruses as well. You'll see a decreased duration of the common cold, and some of the oils are actually very effective at just killing the virus outright. Many stop them from replicating, but some kill them right out. Now, the bacteria that you'll see there, it stays outside the cell. It's generally the byproduct of the bacteria that's causing all the problems in the body. The essential oils are also outside the cell as well, so they can be effective against bacteria, say, in your bloodstream. Now, this is a graph that just says how important purity is. The essential oil industry has been around for decades. We've been eating essential oils forever. Peppermint flavor, wintergreen flavoring. They're oils from plants. So a long time ago, they discovered how to replicate them in a chemical company so that it was a lot less expensive and there was no dependent on a harvest. So what you have though is with a replicated essential oil, you have very few health benefits, if not several of them are quite toxic in the quantities that we would put on. It would be kind of painful on your hands, like what we just did right there. So you must be careful with the quality. The quality that I recommend is called CPTG. It stands for Certified Pure Therapeutic Grade, and it means that the bottles have been third-party tested to be free from contaminants and pesticides, which many people are allergic to, as well as the plant itself. When it creates the oil, nothing has been added or taken away from the oil after it's harvested. Because we can take components and make them in a chemical company, they can be added into the oil to sort of extend it, make the cost of the oil go down so that your price is a little bit better. Right? That's the standard of the industry. France produces the best lavender essential oil in the world, but they export 100 times more than they create in their fields. And how do they do that? They add some good things to it. So they haven't necessarily made a worse product, but it's not what the plant made. With CPTG quality, you know it's exactly what the plant made. So you can be rest assured that you're not getting anything extra and you get those side benefits that I discussed earlier. The last thing I'm going to show you is not a very good slide on this projector, but on this side of the screen, this is a dark field microscope slide of red blood cells. And they're clumped together, which is what the red blood cells do when you're having a lot of free radical damage in your system. So you eat a bunch of donuts, your blood clumps together, just like this, okay? And you feel sluggish. How well do you think that blood is getting through your capillaries? Not very well, it's sluggish. So they applied essential oil to this man's feet, and 30 seconds later they took blood again from his arm. He was about a 6'3" man, spread all throughout his system, and then his blood was like this. Can you see this circle? This blood is all free flowing. The free radical damage has been reversed in that blood cells very, very quickly, because your blood circulates quite quickly. So they work extremely fast. Now there's 3 ways you can use them. One way you've already got, topically on your hands. Third way, aromatically, you smell them. And the last one is internally, which we aren't going to do. But I highly recommend that in the future, when you have a headache, or any kind of other condition that's coming on that you're thinking, hey, maybe I'd like to try something other than an office copay with a pharmaceutical drug and the typical route, give essential oils a shot. I don't think you'll be disappointed. Thank you.